up, you beautiful people out there on the internet? It is I, Michael Shockman. Welcome back to the DM Shockman Institute, where we discuss everything fantasy, sci-fi, and delve into the nitty-gritty, its and bitsy pieces of the universes we love so much. Today we're going to be premiering our new series and the first episode of that new series. That series being Middle Earth Explained, where we dive into every aspect that I can find of Middle Earth, bit by bit, episode by episode, at the end of which hopefully we will have a better understanding of that Middle Earth Tolkien universe that we love so much. Today we're going to be in the premiere episode, kind of keeping in line with Tolkien himself in his universe, having had this particular race be the first race ever made in mortal form on Middle Earth. That being, we're going to be focusing on the Elves. Two really quick things before we get started, though. First, if you wouldn't mind doing me a really quick favor, please smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps out immensely with the algorithm here on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Secondly, please be sure to follow the links down in the description. You know what they do, you know where they go, you know what to do. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Pardon me. And with that out of the way, folks, let's dive into today's premiere episode of Middle Earth Explained when we cover the Elves. Here we go. Woo! Okay, so the Elves. Really quick. This is going to be a really quick video, as hopefully they all will be. They come in two different bloodlines, those being True Elves / Prime Elves and Half Elves. Prime Elves / True Elves are the elves that either never left Valinor in the West, or who came to Middle Earth and then went back at some point, and who kept their true immortality while also being able to not have to be separate from those of the mortal races. The second type, the second bloodline, are that of half-elves. Now, half-elves are all elves that are on Middle Earth. I know that seems kind of counterintuitive because you'd think, oh, half-elves are like in D&D where they're just basically humans plus. No, that's actually not the case. Half-elves in Tolkien are a vastly different type of beast altogether. But more importantly, they come in two different flavors. They come in the woody variety and the high variety. Those being wood elves and high elves. Wood elves are kind of like the most common and the most widespread of them. There are people like Aranil, the guardian guy from Lothlorien, who fell at the Battle of Helm's Deep. People like Legolas of the Woodland Realm of the Fellowship of the Ring, as well as his dad, Thranduil. Then there are High Elves, which are less common, but a lot more magically oriented and a lot more focused on philosophical and magical practices. Those key ones of those being Elrond of Rivendell, Arwen, daughter of Elrond, and Galadriel. Um, really simply put, I guess, kind of going back to another popular universe or genre that was out there, more of a sci-fi type of thing, I guess you could kind of compare the difference in a slight variation of the Wood Elves and High Elves to that of the Vulcans and Romulans in Star Trek. In that, like the Romulans, the Wood Elves are very martial class, very hot-headed, um, usually, not always, but usually very prone to combat and war. Whereas the High Elves, like the Vulcans, are more intellectual, far more about controlling their emotions, far more about finding balance in the world, far more. Whereas the Wood Elves are far more about martial might and things therein. The High Elves are far more about using magic and wisdom and philosophy to better their lives while they're still here on Middle Earth. Regardless of how much we might love the elves, they all eventually go into the west or they die off. Now, hopefully we won't die off, but like the elves going into the west, we're going to head into the west, and we're going to head over to the next episode next week, as this is the end of this episode. At the end of this thing comes the end of our fellowship, to quote a famous white wizard. But stay tuned for next week, guys, when we cover our next section of Middle Earth. I think we're probably going to end up doing either humans or dwarves. I'm not quite sure. I think dwarves were the second race, so I think that's probably what we'll end up doing. stay tuned for that. Like I said before, I'm Michael Schrockman. I've been your host and commentator. Thank you so much for coming. And until next time, guys, keep it real, keep it safe, keep it healthy, and we'll see you guys again in the Institute. Bye, guys.